Ever wondered how to make your ride truly unique? Discover the step-by-step guide to customizing your license plate in Georgia. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to take a complete beginner's look at exactly how to navigate the Georgia Department of Revenue to score your very own personalized tag. If you want your car to make a statement out there on the road, well, you are definitely in the right place. So, let's dive right in. What exactly are we talking about here? In Georgia, what you and I would normally call a vanity plate or a personalized plate is legally known as a prestige plate. And they offer this highly regulated but honestly incredibly fun way to customize your vehicle. It's kind of the sweet spot where your personal style meets state rules. But because it involves the DMV, state regulations, and literal manufacturing logistics, there is a very specific path you've got to follow to get one in your hands. Here is our agenda for today's Explainer. 1. Eligibility and requirements. 2. The selection process. 3. The application process. 4. Fees and charges. And 5. Approval and implementation. Section 1. Eligibility and requirements. Preparing for your prestige plate. Okay, before you start brainstorming all those clever names for your car, we absolutely have to make sure your foundational paperwork is in order. Before you can even request a prestige plate, your vehicle must be fully registered in the state of Georgia. If you're a new resident, or maybe you just bought a new car, you're going to need your valid Georgia driver's license or ID with your current address, plus the vehicle title. But here is the kicker, and this trips a lot of people up. You need electronic proof of Georgia liability insurance. Under Georgia law, just flashing a physical paper insurance card, that doesn't fly for registration. Your insurance company literally has to transmit your coverage details electronically right into the state's database. If you aren't in the computer system, you'll have to provide a valid 30-day insurance binder or the declaration page of your active policy to move forward. Section 2. The selection process. Choosing your custom message. All right, now for the fun part. But it does require navigating some pretty strict physical and typographic limitations set by the state. First up, there's a major visual constraint you need to know about. You've probably seen all those cool wildlife or university specialty graphic plates driving around, right? Well, you actually cannot put a personalized message on those. Your custom text is going to be printed exclusively on the standard peach background. The state keeps those prestige plates and the specialty graphic plates in totally separate administrative buckets. So, how much canvas do you actually have to work with? For standard private passenger vehicles, you get a maximum of 7 characters. For motorcycles, you're capped at 6. And this is crucial. You are strictly limited to standard English uppercase letters, standard numbers, and physical blank spaces. That's it. Absolutely no punctuation, no symbols. You can't use hashtags, no exclamation points. And keep in mind, every single blank space you use counts against that maximum character limit. And naturally, there are legal boundaries. The state completely reserves the right to reject or even recall any plate they feel violates community standards. So what does that mean? It means no obscenity, no disparaging language toward any group, and absolutely no profanity. You also can't infringe on active trademarks, reference illegal acts, or try to falsely represent yourself as a police officer or EMT. Basically, keep your creativity clean and compliant. Now, if you do get denied, you technically have 30 days to file a formal appeal to a panel, but trust me, it is so much easier to just follow the guidelines right out of the gate. Section 3. The application process. Turning your idea into reality. Once you have your compliant 7-character masterpiece figured out, it is time to tackle the bureaucracy. A massive pro tip to save yourself a huge headache: always use the Georgia Drives e-services portal online first. Go there and verify your exact combination is actually available before you do anything else. Once you confirm nobody else has snagged it, you'll download and complete Form MV9B, which is the special prestige license plate application. You can actually rank up to 3 choices on this form, and the state will approve the very first one on your list that is available and legally compliant. Okay, listen closely to this next part because it is an absolute deal breaker. On Form MV9B, there is a designated section where you must explicitly write out the meaning of your requested combination. If you try to play it cool and be mysterious by leaving it blank, or if you just don't explain it clearly enough, the state will automatically deny your application. No questions asked. They have to ensure there aren't any hidden prohibited meanings sneaking through. Now, when it's time to submit that approved form, your timing is going to dictate exactly how you do it. If you're applying during your normal annual registration renewal window, a lot of counties will let you just process the whole thing by mail. But if you're doing what's called a tag exchange, which means you're swapping out your currently active standard plate for a vanity plate right in the middle of your registration year, you have to do this in person at your county tag office. Why? Because the state legally requires you to physically surrender your old active license plate so they can destroy it and prevent any unauthorized reuse. Section 4. Fees and charges, breaking down the costs. Getting a Prestige plate is definitely considered a premium service, and it comes with a fee structure to match. Let's look at how your bill adds up. Your initial upfront cost is going to be exactly $90. That breaks down into a one-time manufacturing fee of $35, an annual special tag fee of $35, and your standard vehicle registration fee of $20. Just remember that $90 is strictly for the plate and the registration itself. You are still on the hook for any standard ad valorem taxes you might owe on the actual vehicle. And if you're paying at the office, you'll usually need a check or money order made payable to the Office of the Tax Commissioner. So, what happens next year? Well, because it's a premium service, maintaining your vanity plate is going to cost you $55 every single year when you renew. That covers the $35 special tag fee plus your $20 standard registration fee. Section 5. Approval and Implementation. The finish line. All right, you checked the rules, filled out the paperwork, and paid the fees. Now what? Because these plates are totally custom-made, your local tag office doesn't just have them sitting in a stack in the back room. They literally have to be individually manufactured by Georgia Correctional Industries. So before you leave the tag office, they're going to hand you a 90-day temporary operating permit, or a TOP. You'll just tape this paper permit up so it's clearly visible in your rear window while you wait for the real metal plate to show up in your mailbox. The state's official timeline says mail delivery usually takes between 1 and 4 weeks, but real drivers on Reddit have some fantastic practical advice here. As one user pointed out, if you feel like you've been waiting forever, you should absolutely call your local tag office directly. They can actually pull up your specific status in the computer system, tell you exactly when the plate was printed and shipped, and help you out if things are genuinely delayed. And let's be honest, delays definitely happen. Another Georgia local mentioned that sometimes the Postal Service itself can hold up delivery. If the mail gets severely delayed and you're looking at that 90-day paper permit getting dangerously close to expiring, don't sweat it. You can just head back to the DMV, fill out Form T226, and they will grant you one-time 30-day extension on your temporary tag while you wait for the post office to finally sort it out. This whole process actually highlights one of the absolute best perks of the Georgia system. Once you finally get that custom plate in your hands, it belongs to you, not the car. Under state regulations, personalized plates are tied to the vehicle owner. So if you decide to sell your car 3 years down the line and buy a new one in the same vehicle class, you can easily transfer your beloved Prestige plate right onto your brand new ride. As we wrap up this explainer, I do need to quickly mention the standard disclaimer. State regulations, administrative procedures, and especially fee structures are always subject to change by the state legislature. So always do yourself a favor and double-check the very latest details with your local county tax commissioner or the official Georgia Department of Revenue website before you actually dive into the application process. And there you have it, the complete step-by-step roadmap to customizing your license plate in Georgia. You are now fully equipped to confidently navigate the rules, the forms, and the fees. So I've got to ask you, with a strict 7-character limit and no spaces to waste, what unique community standards compliant plate idea are you going to request? Drop your most creative ideas down in the comments below. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy driving out there.